Miami English is a native variety of English spoken by native speakers that is the result of sustained contact between Spanish and English over the past half century. It is very interesting for that reason, but it is also not so different from other varieties of English that have undergone influence from other languages. So we can talk about English in Pennsylvania that has influence from German, English in Minnesota that has influence from Scandinavian languages. So right now in Miami we have 2, 3, and now a very young 4th generation of Cuban Americans who are growing up speaking Miami English as their first language, native variety. The things that we are observing in our preliminary analysis are actually fairly subtle as far as linguistic structures go, but are yet nevertheless highly salient or very noticeable to people who hear them, especially people outside of Miami. You know, Spanish and English are related languages. They're both Indo-European languages, but they're not that different in terms of, as far as languages go, in terms of their consonant and vocalic inventories. It seems to be the case that there is very subtle phonetic shading on consonants like L and R in English based on Spanish pronunciation. But in addition, there are lexical phenomena, so phenomena having to do with words, what we call calques, or a loan translation, a literal translation. So you hear things in Miami among native English speakers like, put me the light, you know, that's based on the Spanish, ponme la luz, or I'm going to get down from the car, voy a bajar del coche. So those types of lexical phenomena and phonetic phenomena seem to be sort of the nexus of the dialect. I think it's important for our community to understand that what's happening here in Miami, though we are witnessing it in real time, Miami English is unfolding for the very first time before our very eyes. It is not totally different from what's happened elsewhere. It's just that the time depth is different. We're seeing it right now in front of us, whereas we need to go back to the 19th century to see what happened with the Italian influence in New York City. Those dialects we now take to be kind of normal. They are normal because so much time has passed. Eventually enough time will pass in Miami that people may stop thinking that what's going on here is that Spanish is butchering English or vice versa.